don't listen to the world. Listen to God and let him lead you. And second, even though your journey may be a game of Tetris and not linear, still be strategic. It'll help you in the long run.
I love it.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Tiff.
And this is BOSSiS, where ambition meets sisterhood.
And you hear real stories from boss women in leadership and business.
The highs, the lows, and everything in between.
Every boss has a story, so let's get into it. Today, we have the opportunity to interview somebody that is near and dear to both me and Danny's heart. Our friend, our sister, LaTonya Grant. Welcome!
We're so happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you. You know,
Yes.
we love you.
Yes, we've actually been trying to get you on the show for a while, and you kept pushing us off, but it's okay.
It's okay. I'm here today. I'm here today.
It's okay.
Yes.
But today, what we want to focus on is you, the creative executive. Let's talk about it. Who are you? Who is LaTonya? Tell our audience what makes you a BOSSiS.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you both for having me here today. It is an honor to be here, but also I'm just so super proud just because I know the journey, and it's just an honor to be considered a BOSSiS among bosses. So
I love it.
Thank
super
you.
cool. But who am I? I would say that I am a relationally intelligent, spiritually anchored, creative executive. That's who I am. And
Come
that,
on. Talk
that
about
is
it.
a journey,
It
man,
is.
to be able to say that. And to your point earlier that we've been trying to get, trying to get me here for a while. If you asked me to be on this platform a year ago, I probably would have vehemently have said, I'm not ready.
Wow.
I don't know who I am as a leader. And I was in this role as this chief program officer even a year ago, and I was not sure of what I was doing there, how I got there, if I was supposed to be there.
Wow.
And just through a lot of intentional work, have I gotten to, you know what? Yes, I am supposed to be here, and everything that, all the things that you know about me have informed who I am today.
I love it.
And I can stand in that leadership. You know
That's
what I mean?
amazing.
Yes, so powerful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So tell me how your journey started. Where did you begin? How did your path end up to where you are right now?
Absolutely. I think the main thing, and I will get to that, is that my journey wasn't linear.
Yes.
You know, like some people think you have to go from being in one job for 8 years and then you get promoted in this really systematic leadership journey. It was not that. It was more like a game of Tetris.
Wow.
Where I pivoted here, I did a U-turn here, I made a left here and went back and did a right. But all of that was able to inform who I am. So I started in mental health way back in the day with children who really taught me what patience was.
Yes.
You know, in the school district. Did that. I was a social worker, foster care. I did a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
A friend of mine recently, he said to me, so your leadership career was unstable. And I was like, well, wait a minute, that was a pinch. I didn't stay there, but I felt it. But I can't say that it was unstable. What I say is that I took pieces from every position, lessons from every position, and that really informed who I am today.
I love it.
So yeah, that's what I would say. It wasn't a straight road, but it is the road that led me here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And every path and every journey isn't pretty,
Right.
but it's the outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's where you are now
Absolutely.
that is inspiring.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What's next for you? Where are you going next?
You know, I knew that was going to be a question, and I tried to be prepared because that's kind of who I am, a prepared person, and I don't have a straight answer.
And that's
for
okay,
you, right?
yeah.
And I think that's the other thing that I learned as a leader. I used to think you have to always know the answer.
Yes.
If I'm going to be a leader, I need to be ready with what the response is, and
Right.
that held me back so much.
Right.
Because I wouldn't take the lead, because if somebody asks me a question, I don't know the answer, what do I do?
Right.
So to your question, I'm not sure, but I am a faith-based person.
Yes.
And I'm led with that first, and so I'm open to what God has me, but I know who I am, so I'm prepared for whatever it is.
I love that. Sheesh, you're talking today.
Yes. And I wanted to also just highlight one thing about Tiffany and our experience with you, because you never know who's watching, right? So since we first met you, you were a big sister, a mentor. You kept us motivated. And you were somebody that we looked up to.
Always.
So even through your journey, your path, whatever your Tetris story is, you just never know who's watching.
Yeah.
And we were inspired, and you probably didn't even know. And you were probably in your head at different moments in your life, whether it was you choosing to just follow your dreams of becoming an actress.
Yes.
You know, it was like, that was like, oh my gosh. Like, she just was like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. And you were so good at it.
Yes.
And it was very inspiring. Or when you went off to Step Africa and you traveled the world, it was like, oh my gosh, I wish that I could do that. So I just want you to know that from both of us, well, we've talked about it. You're such an inspiration to us.
I appreciate
And
it.
we don't just love you, but we look up to you.
We really do. I think you're the true
means so much.
definition of leading by example. A lot of people say that. They say that they do it, but you actually do it.
Yes.
There's been times, it's been so many times where I feel like I've seen you say no when it doesn't fit the bill. We've talked about boundaries. We even talked about in a prior episode about not moving on. When you move on, it comes with sometimes, separating yourself. I've seen that with you, but I see that every time you do it, there's another level, another level. And if I had to put anybody in that position to say, I learned this from her, I learned that from you. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Talk more about your non-linear journey.
So
you talked about how your journey hasn't been linear. What has your journey been?
Absolutely.
Where did you go? Where have you been?
So as you all know, and much like you, I started in the arts with dance. We're all Kappa graduates, all Westchester graduates. Started with dance, and then did a lot with dance. I started the dance company at Westchester when I was in undergrad.
Wait, hold on. We gotta make this full circle. So Tanya started the Westchester dance team.
Was it BSU?
It was BSU.
It was BSU.
Okay.
But Danny then later, a couple years later, took over as the captain after you left. So it's like full circle. We were like meant to be together. And we didn't even know. We didn't even know.
Them little alpha deltas, you know how we do.
It's just what it's about.
Yeah.
But absolutely. So we did the dance thing, and then I got the acting bug, but we never half-step anything. And so I was like, if I'm going to act, Philly's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But let me go to New York. So I trained in New York for a few years and did some TV and did a little, the movie thing early on. And it was great for a little while. And then I came back, and Tiff was like, hey, we have young people. We need a teaching artist. And so I was able to come and support in that way. And all the while in the background still doing, clinical work and all of that good stuff, going to school. But all of that, again, informs who is here today. And I say that because people think you have to pick a lane. And I don't believe in picking a lane. Like, whatever lane that I fit in at that moment is the lane that I'm going to, push forward. And so even as this executive or this C-suite executive, I can't do what I do and leave the creativity out of it.
Correct.
Right? And so if I'm doing a presentation, trust me, it's going to be all types of engagement and visuals. I might break out in a little dance. Who knows? But all of that is a part of who I am.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love the fact that you talked about just bringing what you know to everything you do.
Sure.
Talk more about that. To those people that struggle with that, I was saying in a previous episode that sometimes I struggle because I do a lot of things. You know what I mean? How do you define like what this presentation is going to look like? Talk about that.
Yeah. I do a lot of things selfishly.
Okay.
And I know selfish is like this taboo word, but like when I bring myself to work, I think about if someone was giving this presentation to me, do I just want to sit and listen to words, or rather what I want to be up and engaged?
Right.
I would probably want to be up and engaged. Well, what would make me engaged, but also get out the message that we're in a $500,000 deficit? Wow. You know what I'm saying? I need to do all of that. You know what? I'm going to have my board be able to participate in an activity where they have to rearrange our staffing pattern. The board knows nothing about that, but they also get to kind of get in the weeds in a creative way, but also get the information that's needed. And so it's bringing that strategic approach in a creative way that is executive and boss-like, but it doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be run-of-the-mill, and they appreciate it. And I'm calling this out because that just happened last Friday.
Wow.
Okay.
Where we had this big board retreat, and the board's there, the executive leadership, the CEO is there, and I'm asked to lead this group. And I'm like, how do I do this? Make it engaging, make it meaningful. And I had that. Board member, I understand that, you're really busy and you're this high-powered person, but I'm going to ask you to be a frontline staff today.
Oh, wow.
Right? How do you think we should solve this problem? And it took it from this very heady, high-level thing to something that they can take home with them. And then they left that meeting saying, hey, we should do this every time we meet.
Wow.
Right? And so I just think everything that we bring, everything that has informed who we are, it doesn't have to stay so segmented.
Right.
So there's a way to build upon that so that people can get the full best of who we are.
Right. I love that.
So important.
So along your journey, I've heard you say that you played a lot of roles, right? What is your advice to someone who is looking to get into leadership? They're not necessarily a leader yet, but they want to take that path. Where do we go? How do they get there?
I say identify the type of leader you currently are, or the skills that you have now, the kind of leader you want to be, and where those gaps are.
Nice.
So I'm going to be super transparent. If there's a presentation or information needs to be broken down systematically for understanding, I'm your girl. You put a budget in front of me and an Excel spreadsheet.
You're like, I don't know what to do.
I'm not quite sure how to handle that. I'll figure it out, me and chat.
I love the transparency.
We'll figure it out. But what I can do, what I realized early on is that I'm a person who can bring the right people together to get the job done. So,
and that's a skill.
It's a skill.
That is a skill.
Right? It's so underrepresented, but it is a skill. So I don't know Excel, but Joe over there in accounting knows Excel well. And you know what? I'm not great with metrics and KPIs, but Vishwa, who just is in her corner like this all the time, does. Let's come together and figure this thing out.
Right. That's right.
I love it.
So yeah, that's
Use your resources.
I'm really glad that you said that. I think that's something that I've seen along the way is a lot of times people want to lead, but they can't let go of ego. So they can't let go of ego, and that means that they can't bring people together. They can't figure out whose strengths are what.
Absolutely.
So have you found that along your journey, you've seen that too?
Yeah, I think it is ego, but I think under that is fear. Fear of being caught and called out as a fraud or a fake. I know we hear all the time about the imposter syndrome, the inferiority kind of complex. It's the fear of not being who I want people to see me as. And I have had to let go of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely dealt with inferiority complex. Absolutely dealt with not feeling like I should be where I am. And I realized I'm holding me back.
Right.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
And I can blame it on, this person didn't get me what I need, or I didn't have the Ivy League education that my counterparts have. So what?
Right.
So what? Because there are people who are in positions, and I'll be transparent, who probably shouldn't be in those positions. But guess what? They believed in themselves, and they wouldn't let someone else hold them back. So that portion right there is another thing I would like other women to know. you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be the smartest, the fastest.
Yep.
But one, if you have your relationship, whatever that is, with your higher power, that's my basis. Yes. That's my foundation.
Right.
He has given me and equipped me with everything I need. So if I don't reach a certain level, it's my doing.
Right.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
That was very well said.
So we've talked a lot about community on our show. And one thing that we've been trying to get our viewers to understand is that you can't do it alone. How has community helped build you, and how has it gotten you to where you are?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I really want to be transparent about is that I'm not great at like the networking, small talk.
Right.
I'm a super introvert.
Okay.
Whether or not people know it, super introvert. I know you know.
I know, but I don't know.
Super introverted. So I'm like the person in the corner, like that you have to force me to talk. But that doesn't really bode well for networking, right?
Correct.
And so what I've been able to do is connect myself with other women that I'm comfortable with, right? So if I'm at an event and Tiffany has to be there and we're in proximity and Tiffany's having a conversation, then I might be able to build off of her communication.
There we go. I love that. That's great advice.
And that's okay, right? At least until I get my own kind of strength and girth around that. I have also really great mentors, right? And so I'll talk to them about leadership struggles or areas so that when I go out and I'm without them, I pull on those to start conversations. I listen well, and that goes back to being an introvert, right?
Yeah.
So as someone's talking, I'm picking up on those little nuggets that I'm tucking away so that when we're one-on-one, because I'm not, again, not the person that's going to maybe talk in the big group, but one-on-one, I'm relationally focused, right? So I build those relationships, I ask the right questions, and you don't have to always be on the scene and in the middle of all the conversation, but find those people where you can have those one-on-one conversation, and that's when I built a lot of my executive capital.
Right,
You know, because I can go back to those people. I talked to you over at this event, and you told me about your dog. How's
that
they
going?
doing?
Right. People love that you remember.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Remember
love
the
that
thing.
you remember. Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Earlier, you mentioned about having a mentor.
Yeah.
What did your mentor bring out in you? Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So my mentor, it's funny because I'm about to say she doesn't gatekeep.
Right.
But I also don't want to say who she is because I want her to stay my mentor. But she's an amazing, I'm going to say her name because she's so amazing. Her name is Trapita Mason.
I was going to say
She's so amazing.
Is it Trapita?
I knew it.
Look, Google her. She's amazing.
She's been talking about Trapita for we've been friends for 20 years.
I know.
So I've known
At
about
least
Trapita
20 years.
for 20 years.
And that's what it's been. So Trapita was, how do I say this respectfully? She was always a step ahead of me, and I say that respectfully. So if she was a clinical director, I was a clinician. Yeah. And then Trapita would get promoted to a division director, so I became the clinical director.
Right.
And that has happened in multiple iterations of our career. And now currently, Trapita is the CEO of COMAR, which is an amazing behavioral health agency in Philly, and I'm the chief program officer that reports directly to her. So
awesome.
She's amazing. She has been my mentor. And to your question, what has she brought out of me? She does not gatekeep.
Love that.
If there is a tool, a resource, information, anything that's going to help you or drive you as a leader, she shares that with me.
I love it.
And from there, I've been able to do that as well with other burgeoning leaders or leaders who are early in their career. And I think that's so important for bosses.
Yes.
Is that we don't hold on to the information. And that's why this is such an important platform, because you're bringing the secrets, the secret sauce, the things that have worked for other female leaders and sharing it with the larger community. And that's how the community is empowered and strengthened. So I just appreciate this platform because you're not gatekeepers either.
Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
While you're known for your unlinear, untraditional route, one thing that I do know about you is you're really known for being an advocate for mental health and self-care.
Sure.
How would you say self-care ties into your unlinear journey?
Absolutely. Great question.
Yeah.
I am a proponent of being outside of the box. And self-care for me is not needing to show up the way everyone else does. So self-care needs to be really specific to the individual. So I can absolutely share some ways that I take care of myself, but I don't expect anyone to replicate that because it really should come from who you are as an individual and what your needs are. My needs look like prayer. My needs look like therapy. My needs look like going to get a really good deep tissue massage. My needs look like getting my nails done every 3 weeks. You know what I mean? But somebody else might be just solitude. Right? Or disconnecting. Which I do as well. So I would say whatever the need is for the individual, but again, you have to kind of know yourself, right? To know what it is that is going to refill your tank. And in the work that we do, I need my tank refilled almost daily, right? Yes. And so while I can't go get a deep tissue massage every day yet, it's coming. I can take some time and thank the Lord and just be grateful for 15 minutes a day. You know, I can write in my journal about what challenges I had today and how I got through. So it's finding who I am and what it is that's going to refill my tank so that I can show up fully for whoever the next day.
I love that. I love it. Absolutely. So first of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming and talking to us. But we have one question before you leave.
Okay.
What makes you a BOSSiS?
What makes me a BOSSiS? What makes me a BOSSiS is God. And I know that might sound kind of like simple and sophomoric. Shout out to Pastor Waller, he always says that. Simple and sophomoric. But without that foundation, one, and his daily favor, because I'm in rooms I really shouldn't be in.
Wow.
I'm using words that I didn't study, right? I am influencing rooms that I'm not even in.
Wow.
And it has nothing to do with LaTonya, because I know me. And she can be something sometimes, right? I know me, but so does he. And he sees the best version of who I am. And every now and again, more often than not, he lets that person show.
I love it.
You know, and then I go in the room, and I'm serious. I go back in my office, and I'm like, who said that? That was good. Holy Spirit, you did that. Because it was not me. So, yeah, I think that's what makes me a BOSSiS. And I recognize that's not everyone's, belief system. So you have to find what it is for you.
Right.
So every sis out there, take the moment, sit with yourself and find out what is the thing that gets me to show up as my best self every single day. And it's okay if 2 of the 5 days you're at 60. You won't be at 100 every day, but that's the goal.
Indeed.
So finding out what that thing is for me is the one upstairs.
And for us, it's the one upstairs.
The one upstairs.
Yes.
This was so good.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you for sharing that a journey does not have to be linear in order for it to be right.
Yes.
And for you, don't forget to stay BOSSiS. Yeah.
Unless you freaking hurt.